and New Orleans in the spiffy brand new home whites. In the center circle, Churchill Abbas winning the opening tap for UNO against Cherry. Abbas, who played at Wake Forest last year, should be a force in the Southland. Colton Benson open for an early three. He's going to shoot a lot of those, the transfer from Texas State. That one not falling, and Prophet Johnson brings it down the floor for Sac State. They go right down low to Cherry, who draws the double team but had to pass it out. Run down in the backcourt now by Jaden Teat. Spent a couple of years at Utah and one of the two Sacramento natives on the Hornets roster. He'll look to feed the post right side this time, and the jump hook by Cherry is a beauty. Got position right where he wanted to be and able to put it on softly over Abbas. First bucket of this contest. New Orleans will shoot the three quite a bit today, and Kedrick Osby, the latest to try from the corner, no. The long rebound gives Enzo Baduma, a Swiss international, another chance, and the Privateer outside shot's not falling here early, as Prophet Johnson will get the handoff and shoot a jumper himself and rattle it in and call that a three ball. And the Hornets with the early 5-point edge. Smaller roster overall, although size in the starting lineup for the Hornets. They're going to want to get up and down the floor with a collection of players, including 9 guards. Now Buckley trying to feed down low, the cutting Abbas, and a push called in the paint. First foul of the game. And the foul will go on Cherry, and it makes sense if you're UNO to try to get the big man to have to move on the perimeter defensively. Steve Orcus, Brent Dugas, and Cale Saloy, the officials for this contest. Familiar faces in the Southland Conference. Osby in front of the Hornets bench on the perimeter, and now in the hands of Buckley. After 2 years at Lamar, he really shined up in Hammond, Louisiana for SLU. Draws contact and gets the roll. Jay Buckley, a good distributor, but he is a strong guard who has matured over his D1 career. About to go into his 4th season in the Southland, and you see his ability to score through contact, and he can get deep in the paint and score amongst the trees as well. Buckley scoring over 14.5 points a game last year and able to give UNO their first 3 points of this one. Privateers defensively probably be a bit more of a half-court look, although they have some depth and are working on different presses moving forward. I'm curious to see how both of these teams approach showing what they have heading into the regular season. Here's Johnny Summers with a first touch of the ball, the Indiana State transfer. And right back inside it goes to Cherry, who leans in and has it blocked by Abbas. Able to fish it out of there, the Hornets, and now we have a stoppage of play. And something to do, I believe, with the clock. Johnson, interesting to watch, an all-MAC performer last year at Fairfield. And at just 6'3", 185, what's impressive, maybe more than the 13.5 points per game. Nearly 8 rebounds per game. That's hustle and instincts, to be sure. Now Teat will take the step-back three to beat the clock and not get it to go down. Abbas, though, not able to handle it. Kind of got him on top of the head there and never got the firm grip on it. Privateers gave out a lot of tickets to local youth here to try to get them in the building on a Saturday during football season, as the jumper on the baseline will go for Summers. A Hoosier at heart from Evansville. Another good shooter on this team. Nearly 40% from three. Now Baduma's bumped on the baseline, and the foul called. It looks like on Gardner, and it is.
Foul number 0, Brandon Gardner.
10 D1 transfers in here for Sacramento State, and Brandon Gardner, the former Mr. Basketball in New York, one of the more impressive ones, as Baduma left wide open for three, and the freshman makes his mark. Enzo Baduma at 6'9" can play inside and out, and he's a really good spot-up shooter. Privateers now down by 1. Summers bumped on the sideline. Tough defense from Kedrick Osby, and now the floater won't go for Teat. Got a really good look there, and the size of the Privateers may be having an effect there on the shot choice. 3 minutes in this exhibition, both teams feeling each other out. really coming in blind, not the typical scouting you'll have of an opponent here with new rosters in the preseason. Now Baduma able to save a backcourt violation. Abbas trying to go at Cherry, and he does. He's got the quickness advantage, does Churchill Abbas, and showed it there with the nice handle too. First lead of the game for New Orleans. Now on the baseline, Prophet Johnson trying to get it right back and misses the fadeaway. Buckley under pressure in the backcourt. And just a steady hand. He was a backup for 2 years at Lamar. Has improved as a shooter every season. Baduma trying for another three was open there. And you see the Privateers are going to take those open looks for three without hesitation. Teat looking to play the two-man game, and his head coach, Mike Bibby, decides to call a timeout. And we'll take the break as well, both teams. And it is interesting that you can throw together a game like this essentially about 6 weeks out from when it takes place, but we'll see a lot more exhibition ball here in college basketball preseason, which I think is really good versus those closed-door scrimmages of recent years. Now UNO trying to trap out of the timeout and creates a loose ball, and MJ Thomas, the best returning Privateer, comes up with the steal, and Buckley fouled attacking the hoop. So a little wrinkle out of the timeout by New Orleans, and MJ Thomas, who was a standout freshman in the Southland last year, made that happen. The Denton, Texas product led the league in rebounding. Quite honestly, as UNO was down by season's end to just 6 available players, Thomas could have really shined more in the month of February if he'd have had a little bit more help, as Buckley gets the roll on the free throw. Grant Kemp, who is a converted walk-on, the other Privateer back on this basketball team, who played a lot down the stretch last year, one of those leaders in the locker room. So not as difficult as Sac State having to bring in an entirely new team under a new coach. It's just like starting over. But the talent appears to be there for the Hornets, as you'd expect. With people like Bibby and O'Neal involved in it. Privateers bringing more pressure on the perimeter with the JUCO transfer Osby out there. Now Benson trying to stay in front of Prophet Johnson, who dumps it down low to Cherry. A great position, but not able to put it in. Thomas clearing. There's no mistake that even though this is more guard and wing heavy when you look at Sac State, they are going to go to the big man Cherry early and often, and they should. Now Buckley in traffic, passes back and taken away. Cherry showing he's nimble as well, stripping Thomas, but then miscommunication in the front court. Or is it? A trip instead maybe being called here. Let's see. No, it's not. UNO ball. I had to make sure. And you can practice against teammates in scrimmage all you want, but things like understanding of running lanes and communication in transition, not necessarily going to translate right away. 5-on-5, playing different people. That's why these exhibitions are so useful. Baduma inside the arc after one dribble, finding Benson, who will shoot quickly and have it rattle out, almost come off the top of the glass and in. And Shaquille O'Neal, the son of Shaquille O'Neal, able to clear the rebound. Jumper on the wing, and Teat with too much space there, making the Privateers pay. Jaden Teat, redshirted last year for the Utah Utes, but he's got high major talent. You can say that about several of these Hornets. Buckley does too, and off the bounce he gets hammered down low. And when you're trying to prepare for an opponent, a guy like Buckley, you almost have to experience it in person, how good he is off the dribble. When he finds a seam, he's not afraid to go out a big man and able to draw the foul down low on Cherry. And that's his second personal foul here early in the first half. If this were a game that counted, the Privateers would certainly be pleased by that, as Cherry will check out of the ballgame. And the other Sacramento area Hornet getting an opportunity, a true freshman in Mark Lavrinoff. He was only the Sacramento Bee Player of the Year in the area, so it's always good to keep the best on the high school level home if you can, and Sac State able to do that. A rebound by New Orleans off the missed free throw. Panagiotis Pagonis, the Greek international, and there's some of that miscommunication you'll see in an October game as he cut and was expected to stay in the corner, and UNO turns it over. Even Steven here so far, and I think both teams are going to learn a lot about themselves from this 40 minutes, or maybe more, this afternoon. Lavrinov, who can handle outside, does so to Johnson, who draws the double team. That gives the open jumper to the freshman. And it won't go, but a foul called on the Privateers down low. And UNO may have more length on the floor, including TJ Cope, a 6'7" JUCO transfer on the wing. Sometimes those smaller, quicker guys with instinct can sneak in, and that created the foul call there. Now down low, the and one, Lavrinov. Not looking out of place at all on the major college level early.
Foul on number 23, MJ Thomas. His first.
So MJ Thomas hit with the New Orleans foul. Pagonis the earlier one, as Sacramento State, the team racking up team fouls early with 5. Just the second on the Privateers. Lavrinov trying to complete the and one, will not do so. Irish Kokia out of D2, Simon Fraser, another talented guard on this New Orleans team, and the ball movement was beautiful as Benson finds Thomas for the jump. MJ Thomas is somebody who can really move well with him without the basketball, and you saw him taking advantage of the spacing there. Now we have before the shot, stepping out of bounds on the baseline. I'm on Maddie. Was at Northern Arizona for a couple years. Many of these Hornets, like Maddie, redshirted at their previous spots last year, so you know they were itching to get on the floor. The lob to Cope. A beautiful pass from Pagonis on the set play. And Cope is somebody who on the JUCO level at South Plains played on one of the best junior college teams in the country. They used him a lot like that. Now Prophet Johnson with the fadeaway from mid-range, and UNO able to clear it with the 2-point advantage. Benson pulls up, may have been contact, but didn't matter. He'll take a lot of threes, but happy to hit inside the arc there, and drawing the timeout call for Sacramento State. Always clamoring to see them perform, especially in New Orleans parades. Now a pass getting away from Maddie. As Taj Glover, the freshman who redshirted last year at South Florida, not able to make the connection. In some ways, you like to see these issues come as the Privateers on a 6-0 run, looking sharp. Cope looking very sharp with the two-hand flush. TJ Cope has really played well the last month in practices to sort of earn his way into this early New Orleans rotation. With that athleticism, and he's decisive like that, good things are going to happen. As UNO's made their last 4 shots from the floor as we near the 12-minute mark. Now the pull-up jumper by Bronson, and again the ref's letting him play a little bit after the shot. A foul though called on the floor. You're seeing aggressive on-ball defense here, but that time the whistle is the second foul on MJ Thomas. So Abbas will return for the Privateers, and so will Jeremiah Cherry, playing with the 2 early fouls. Things you watch early in these exhibitions. An inbound play led to an easy bucket for the Hornets in the half court earlier. And it's off the screen, an open jumper, and way too open indeed as Mahdi knocks down the 3. An all-academic performer in the Big Sky last year, and he can stroke it as well as UNO lead cut in half. Kokia gets an open look. Late closeout by Cherry, doesn't matter. And the Canadian able to knock down his first Privateer shot. I don't think these two teams are going to waste too much time when they get open looks this season. To the hole, and the foul called underneath the rim that time. Glover right down the middle in the early November. Glover shooting a pair and has the first one rattle out. started Hebron Christian Academy. You can see B-ball IQ important to both of these coaching staffs in their recruiting. 4-year honor roll student there, and his father has an NBA pedigree. How about Dion Glover? Remember him from the early 2000s? Not able to cash in the free throws as UNO looks to add to their early 6-point advantage. Here is Buckley stopping at the foul line. It goes to the corner to the freshman Jamal Cretion, but not able to hit the three. He's got a quick release, but that one didn't drop for him. New Orleans now just 2 of 7 from long range in this one. And a good job by Abbas to be able to affect the entry pass there and create the loose ball that Pagona's picked up for UNO. Privateers are very conscious about getting in passing lanes in the half court inside the arc, and a good job of doing so there as Abbas on the baseline quickly puts one up short. Glover with the hezzy, gets to the hole and banks it in. Able to get by Buckley after crossing the center court line. Under control and nicely done by Taj Glover. Getting his first taste of basketball this season full-time on the D1 level. That's the exciting thing for both of these teams. They should get better as the year goes along. Buckley directing traffic. Decides to step to his left, hit the three with an and one opportunity. Needless to say, Jay Buckley's not taking this as just an exhibition. He is red hot. And now has 8 points looking for number 9. And his ability to be able to shoot from the outside off the bounce and as a spot-up shooter could just make him a much more dangerous weapon. Last year, he got up to 32% as a shooter and better spotting up. That was a confident stroke off the dribble. He's been to the line a bunch here early and only a 50-50 proposition, now 3 of 6. Up the floor, Teat back out there to direct things. As the Hornets look to respond here down 7 as we're halfway through this opening 20. Cherry given the baseline and making Abbas and the Privateers pay with that reverse. And he's listed, depending on where you look, 250 this year with 280 last year. He is a big, wide body, but agile, as you can see there. Now Baduma off the dribble with the spin, and Cherry able to block the shot. And standing out of bounds, Baduma when he got it back. When you see the credentials of the Bear, Jeremiah Cherry, who spent 2 years at New Mexico Junior College, and was second in the Mountain West in block shots last year, you saw that rim protecting ability on full display. Now a loose ball picked up by Summers. UNO extending here defensively a little bit outside the arc, but it eventually gets back down to Cherry, and the hand check foul is called. And Abbas sort of looks flummoxed there, called for his second foul, and the 5th on the Privateers in the half. And he will sit down, and UNO will go a little deeper into their collection of capable big men with William Patterson. Inbound is kicked there as New Orleans almost came up with the steal. Patterson listed at 7'2", out of Brooklyn, New York. He signed with Syracuse and redshirted out of high school. And still getting his feet wet here as a late addition to UNO during the summer. Now before the ball can even get in this time, another foul called on the Privateers. And it is on Baduma. Cherry will get it on the short porch. Buckley looking to lurk the help, reaches in, but able to get the pass cross court anyway for the 3.